Hello everyone and welcome to my Synergy Lab, a facility so dedicated to delivering undetermined dynergies that... Hello everyone, welcome to my Synergy Lab, where we make the very best, most beautiful and just awe-inspiring synergies in Isaac. That's what we do here, yes. Haha, let's pretend that nothing was amiss about any of that, and I will thank you all for very much understanding. Today, then, while Tech Zero's going to make an appearance, it's very much not a Tech Zero synergy. It's actually a little bit more explosive than that, and it does involve one of my new favourite trinkets that I've been very much liking recently. I've been sneaking out late at night, hunting it down, and just, you know, oh, lovely little worm. It's gonna be one of the worms. It's good. Okay, alright. I wonder, the worm trinkets, right? Their skin has to be smooth. No, I'm not gonna discuss the likelihood of whether the skin of a worm is smooth or rough for continued stroking. In fact, nobody ever in their lives should find themselves in a situation where they have to say a sentence that involves continued. In fact, now I'm going to cut myself off there as well. Jesus. Alright, so we got a lot of tears. As you saw, we got a lot of tears, and that's good. But we need to build this up. We need to build this up. And in order to build this up, we're going to grab ourselves Cricket's body, which obviously makes quite the nice little just splash of death. And that'll do for this floor, you know. We don't want to go too crazy just yet. We at least want to be coherent. You know, we want to be scary, like maybe at any point we could, you know, go mental, but we at least want to be understandable. We want to give a speech that's really eloquent, but also make the recipients of the speech think that a shotgun could be pulled out at any moment. That's the kind of tone that we're going for, yeah, alright? It'll develop further as we progress. Would this have been good? Holy moly! What a bloody devil deal! Could I actually do this? So I'd take Judas's shadow, and then no, you take that, and then... You actually couldn't. Yes, that's a good devil deal. I'm just gonna walk away from it now. That's absolutely fantastic. In fact, today, I will say the best way I could describe this synergy that we're going to end up with is electric covered fire, which for me is quite a cool thing. I say cool thing. Yeah, for me, I really love it when my fire is covered in electricity. I've said this like a while ago when I was talking about fire, but there's the song "Come On and Rock Down to Electric Avenue," and then it says fire, and that I never fully actually got what it was trying to say. Like, I never understood the lyrics, so I always heard it as electric covered fire, and I always wondered why. What was the purpose of those lines? Is somebody being burnt by electric covered fire? But then as I got older, I realized it's kind of pointless to electrocute someone while burning them, because electricity generates a shit ton of heat by itself, especially if you're going through it. Like, imagine lightning. The temperature that lightning strikes with is obscene, so it's kind of superfluous. If you're going to set someone on fire, there's no need to electrocute them, and if you're going to electrocute them, you don't need to set them on fire, because if you're feeling the pain from the electricity and your body's like constricted and you can't really do anything, then you're still gonna be in significant amount of pain, and whoever has done this to you is going to get the satisfaction that they need from this horrible thing that they've done to you. Whereas fire is good, you know, you get good guttural screams initially, but then very quickly everything goes numb. So it depends really. Low voltage consistently is probably the best discomfort pain ratio to death prolongedness. But the reason I bring this up is because it's relevant to the synergy that we're doing today. I am gonna go grab Pyromaniac just real quick, because I have realized that I'd prefer to not die in my own synergy lab. I don't know what's made me think that, but that's something I have definitely decided upon. Although honestly, I actually don't know if I'd rather be electrocuted to death or burnt to death. I think electrocuted, right? That would probably kill you quicker, because it's just a and then you're gone. I mean, if the voltage is high enough, it would be near instant, so probably better. I don't know really, but even then, electrocution and fire aren't on my top 10 ways to die list. Top 10 ways to die. Top 10 ways I'd like to least die. And you laugh. You laugh, but when I was younger, I decided, you know what actually would be the worst way that I would want to die? So one day I sat down with a pen and paper and actually made a list of the worst ways I could think of to eventually meet my demise. And then, you know, not being content with that, I felt the need to run up to my mum and go, here, look, this is how I'd least like to die. And it's just a list of 10 really brutal things to kill you. And obviously if you're a little kid and you're up to someone and give them a list like that, that's like the makings of a future psychopath there. So admittedly it was not probably a good indicator. Like, imagine if you had like a younger brother and they run up to you and go, these are the ways I'd least like to die. Yay! Also, this is really cool. Look at that. Just all the little firefly sparkies in the gloom. It's really, really cool. We don't even need to go further than this, right? We're just done. Like, look at it. Like embers bursting forward in a line. Is that not really awesome? I'll save you answering. It is really awesome. But yeah, generally, if you want people to think that you are on the sane side of things, what I would recommend is don't go around giving out lists of the worst ways to die. Incidentally, in case you're wondering, because I know you are, the second worst way to die is to drown, because that shit is scary, painful, and oh god, that's not good. Third worst way to die, I don't know why I'm doing it in this order, is, I think, being savaged by an animal. Because, for example, a grizzly bear will eat you alive from your midsection while you sit there slowly dying and in unbelievable agony while you literally watch yourself getting alive. So that shit's pretty dark. But now, I'm going to finish this, but I have realized that since this episode's begun up until now, it's been really dark. Does this say something about my current state? I mean, I feel like I'm okay and happy and everything's fine. I think that I'm also starting to realize that maybe I need to talk to someone about this. And the worst way to die is being trapped in a tiny underground space and slowly starving to death / dying of thirst, knowing that you're unable to be rescued and that you can't even move for the cold stone walls encircling you. So I guess if I was in a tiny stone chamber that was slowly filling up with water, and with that water came a ravenous species of shark, then I think that would be the big triple whammy. So if anyone out there is planning on kidnapping... Well, I'm joking. It was all a joke, guys. It was all a joke. So now we're gonna go to Ipecac, which is kind of nice. Look at it go, all lovely, lovely, lovely. And then what we are going to do is look at the fire in the gloom. Is that not awesome? We're going to get ourselves a little bit of mysterious liquid, just to have it a nice little bit of extra glow, and obviously a nice amount of sludge on the floor. I like it. I do. I like it very much. And then just for a little bit of extra something, we're going to grab ourselves the freeze. So we have the occasional red explosion. We're going to grab ourselves a pink explosion. Yes, we are. Look at that go. Lovely. We'll grab ourselves even more different various colored explosions. And then that's looking good, because we like to have that going. And this really just hell, just a sea of fire. But no, don't worry. We are, of course, going somewhere with this. I do kind of like getting the continuum, just because that on top of anything else, I mean, it's just nice to have them glowing around the place like that. And then finally on this one, we're going to grab ourselves Godhead. Yes, we are. So they're even more glowy. Yes, look at that go. Look at it go. Obviously, grabbing the continuum is optional, because it does turn the explosions to the just darkest silver clouds, which are also fine. I mean, it depends, really, if you prefer yourself to die in a red explosion or a silver explosion. I mean, you've just got to decide those things. So for now, we're firing basically just like a launcher of little tracking explosive god particles. But don't worry, this isn't really that close to how this is going to end up. It's not far off, don't get me wrong. It's not far off, but it's not quite there, and we will get to that on the next floor. For now, I kind of want to see what it's not that great. It's not that good. Yeah, we'll try to talk about something a little bit on the maybe happier side of things for now. God damn. Sometimes I do wonder. I really, really do. I just wonder so much. Alright, let's get through them, kill our boss, and then we'll expand our synergy into gloriousness. Yes, indeed. Good old gloriousness. So much fire everywhere. Like, the fire is so extensive, it was perfectly covering the trapdoor. That's gotta take some bravery, right? Although, technically, you can run through fire. As long as you're quick enough, it won't actually do that much to you. I guess as long as you're not wearing anything overly flammable as well. That tends to put a damper on things. So now we are going to get ourselves electricity, which doesn't really change an awful lot initially, right? In fact, it looks like absolutely nothing has changed. But what we need to do is grab ourselves the sad onion, get a little tiny bit more tears going for us, make sure we really have that capped out. And then we are going to go over here and get ourselves lovely Tech 0. So now we have this nice little wave of electricity going out as they connect to each other. Like, look at that. It's nice. That's a moth. There is a moth flying near me! We're good. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. And no, I didn't get it. I just hurt my hand a little. But it did get the message, and it has flown away. At least I think it's a moth. Actually, no, it's not too bad. I don't mind moths that much, but I do... Is it just me? Or is there no way out of this room? Oh my god, the moth trapped me forever. And we returneth after being confined in a small room with no way out. Oh my god, my fear actually happened mere moments after talking about it. So yeah, we're back in here. I go back to colourful explosions because, I don't know, I kind of like it. Though I will admit that when you Tammy's head this, it's really, really nice. But no, our final tiny little extra addition to this loveliness is to grab the Ouroboros worm, because this thing turns it really, really cool. Are you ready? Whoop! You see that? Look at that. Is that whoop? And then the wave of electric going out. Is that not freaking? And then if you keep it going. But we do need just a few little extra little tiny bits because our shot speed is altogether too high. So we do need to slow that down if I can remember which of these items negatively affect shot speed. I'm just gonna grab this and then we should be okay. I can't believe I've forgotten which items affect shot speed. Oh, that is really, really not good. But no, I very much like it because it just vroom. Alrighty, I have managed to strike the correct balance. Here we go. So you fire once, and then it nicely spreads into this direction, and you'll start to notice the shape the fire takes as the waves of electric pour out from the center. We'll let it go a little bit more. Careful, careful, careful. And then we have this beautiful pattern on the ground. 4 little arcs curving, and then the central fire. And I don't know, I think it's really, really nice. It is difficult to find the position at which you don't get frickin' exploded, but if you can do it, and then in the darkness, oh, it's great. Look, it's like a circular scorch pattern, and then the waves of electricity as they pour out and reach the point. Like, is that not awesome? Firing it in groups of 4 is the way to go, but it's just vroom, and I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Then again, it would be weird if I came to you with a synergy and was like, you know, as it turns out, I'm not too happy with this. Now, obviously, we can end up in situations where against enemies, it doesn't quite do what we want it to, because it is a little bit homing, but that's okay. It's just constant fire particles round the room connecting loveliness, and really, when you can make a room do this, nothing really is wrong, you know? Nobody argues with a guy that is capable of setting the room on fire at a moment's notice, you know? You just don't make that decision, you know? You don't have that going for you, otherwise you're going to run into real problems. It basically turns the entire area into an electricity-charged radioactive fire swamp, and I am all about that. You know, let's get a little bit of spider bite, why the hell not? We'll have a cute little wiry bits going on in here. Let me find a place where I don't get affected by the knockback, and we should... Oh no, we got a little bit there. There we go, we're going for it. Let's go a little bit darker. It's so good. Oh, just keep on keeping on. Obviously, it's a messy one if I don't deliberately set it up, but you see what I mean, right? Like, just imagine this entire area as a swamp that is on fire and has electric current running through it. And you just cover the life in it, just everything. Everything is now swimming in this toxic, awful water with fires burning on its surface and electricity running through it. And I think that's something we've never really had on Synergy Lab, almost terraforming the environment into something just awful to be a part of, just converting the room into just this, you know? I think that's really, really cool. Maybe it's shit, but I at least like it, okay? And my mother said I make really good synergies, so you better not be disagreeing. Although, talking of the moth attack earlier, because of course we are always going to come back to that one, because we don't have a choice here. It is weird how certain insects merit a response of and then other ones merit a response of I don't mind that. Maybe it's just me. Maybe a lot of people have just a general I don't like creepy crawly things. But obviously, as an owner of 3 lizards, I very much had to get used to dealing, well, with insects, because oh god, look at it go, just waving out through there as it circles round and vroom 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 vroom. Fantastic. But yeah, I've had to get used to dealing with insects, cockroaches. Well, they're called dubia roaches, not cockroaches. They're the household variety. Dubia roaches are more rainforesty, and we've also had to deal with locusts, you know, like the swarm, plague of Egypt style, and then also crickets. And after this long, I can pick up, handle, have crawling on me the roaches and the locusts absolutely fine. Doesn't bother me one jot. I think they're fine, silly little insects that like to die and be eaten alive. Whereas crickets, oh no. Even after all this time, those demons spawn. I can't deal. They're evil, tiny little black sharp-faced, just bastards, and I just cannot even stand the thought of touching one. And it's really weird, that, right? Because all 3 are little insects with insecty bits, you know, which might be a somewhat insecty racist way of describing them, but they're little insecty bits with little insecty bits. And it's just weird that one of them happens to freak me out when the others don't. And talking of the moth, that happens with that, because butterflies, I have absolutely nothing against. I could happily have butterflies land on me, fly around me. I think they're wonderful, interesting creatures. And while I think moths are wonderful, interesting creatures, because, let's be honest, most animals, when you really think about it, are bloody interesting in how they function and work and their behavior. I just love stuff like that. But moths, for some reason, compared to butterflies, freak me the hell out. And I don't know why. I mean, little ones I'm okay with, but those big, chunky, hairy moths? Oh, butterflies are more slender. Maybe that's it. Maybe as soon as something becomes chunky and hairy, it's suddenly terrifying. I could see that. If you had a skinned baby bear, that wouldn't be as scary as an adult not skinned, de-haired. Jesus! A, like, muscle and bone abomination walking towards you. God damn. Let's have a look what we would have ended up with. Oh, God, this would have been an awful hush floor. Look at that. But yeah, maybe that's it. Okay, imagine a pen, then imagine a giant, chunky, hairy pen. Is that suddenly more worrying to be a part of? I guess it would make sense. Then again, I say to be a part of. I'm not talking like you're going to do a fusion with the pen and become half pen, half human, able to take down notes at a moment's notice. Isn't that right, Hush? Isn't that right? Oh, I just want to find a position where it never moves me, and I can just keep creating my lovely fiery electric swamp, but it just doesn't happen. See, look, doesn't it look like the room is filling up when I have enough of it? Because it covers over the top of things, it's like the swamp liquid is filling and covering the Hush, and he's just drowning in it. And oh, that makes me so happy. Look at it, it's so great. It's actually doing a lot of damage, and he is very much on fire there. Like, really quite on fire. Oh, that light show when he died. That was glorious. Holy hell, that was glorious. Let's see how the Delirium likes with this. But yeah, I think I've cracked the code. Because spiders, I can't. I mean, I've gotten a bit better. I have, but I still really cannot stand spiders either, and I don't know what it is about them. I really don't. Because ironically with spiders, the big, chunky, hairy ones I'm fine with, but the little, spindly, fast ones I'm not. So maybe my whole theory doesn't actually hold any water. Okay, maybe it's one extreme. Oh wow, instant delirium. Maybe it's either incredibly spindly and fast, or especially chunky and hairy, but anything in between is kind of okay. I think that would make sense, because crickets are spindly and fast. Moths are chunky and hairy. I kinda, maybe that's it. Or maybe like most people, I just happen to have unexplained preferences and likes and dislikes for different type of things because, you know, that's how humans work. So, yeah, I guess that might be able to explain it as well. As the Delirium drowns in my swamp. How do you like it? Do you think you might rent a patch? It's going at a good rate. Don't you worry. There's plenty to go around. I always wonder what would happen if I woke someone up recording at the moment of an evil laugh. Just how much they would get freaked out as that was the sound that woke them up. Either way, guys, that's your Synergy Lab for today. Fire everywhere. Oh, is it not just glorious? My name has been Rage. Like if you enjoyed this, subscribe for more. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.